Potential. This clip explores how leadership has evolved from authority-driven management to something far more human-centered. Tino talks about the shift from follow me because I'm the boss to a leadership built on trust, purpose, empathy, and understanding what motivates people as individuals. He explores how technology, changing workforce expectations, and the reality that there's 5 generations working side by side right now, and how that's transformed the relationship between leaders and employees, and the tension many organizations feel today. They're balancing accountability and stability with flexibility, personalization, and purpose. So if you've ever wondered why traditional leadership approaches no longer work the way they once did, or how leaders can better motivate people in a rapidly changing world, this episode's for you.
You know, a lot of the principles are still the same. So there was a time though when leadership was, you follow me. I remember people sitting at my desk. I'm like, I don't really have to know what you want. You have to know what I want. And then that's kind of all turned on its head to, servant leadership and people being really willing to move at the drop of a hat if they don't like the leadership or they don't like, something about the company. Then they're out looking in the search area, which, I am. I do see a lot of applications come through that are, 6 months, a year in a job, that sort of thing. And I guess from an old school side, I'm like, yeah, if you've had 4 or 5 of those, I'm going to resist probably sending you to the next person because, how's that going to change in terms of recruiting? So, I was, all the jobs that I've had, the things I enjoy, because if you think about it, what I said is, park district, YMCA, health charity, leadership development company, technology organization, executive staffing, chief strategy officer, all those things, I still use a lot of the same tools in terms of, being kind to people, being purpose driven, having a set of measures, making sure I learned early on, like, setting expectations so that when somebody's wants to know how they're doing, it shouldn't be a surprise, if they're doing well or not. They really should be part of that and should know that. I think, some of the changes around the technology tools that are used now maybe drive things, the expectations in terms of, as I said before, really being servant leaders, supporting people and what they need. And now what is there 5 generations in the workforce, from baby boomers to Z's and another group's coming up. And so all of the groups are a little different and they have different skills and different challenges. So, figuring out like each individual, what motivates them, what keeps them excited, that's really important now. I don't think early on in my leadership career, I don't think I thought about, I always did personalize it, but it wasn't as broad-based as it is now. It's kind of like, oh, you're a Z, you're a millennial, you kind of can tell in a lot of ways. I'm stereotyping, but the differences in people and what motivates them.
Leadership today is no longer about control. It's about connection. And as workplaces evolve, the leaders who will thrive are the ones who will understand that people are not interchangeable resources. They are individuals with different motivations, experiences, expectations, and definitions of success. What stands out in this conversation is that while the tools and the technologies may change, many of the foundational principles remain the same: kindness, clarity, purpose, communication, and trust. The challenge for modern leaders is learning how to apply those principles in a world that is more diverse, more dynamic, and more human than ever before. If this episode resonated with you, share it and hit the subscribe button. I have more upcoming interviews with leaders who have navigated change and amplified potential.